Hello, welcome to Mr. Benjamin's Math World. Today we are solving word problems with equations. Equations can be used to solve real-life problems. Let's see this one. Here it says, after selling the 3/5 of a piece of cloth, 40 meters of cloth remain. What was the length of the piece of cloth? Let's prepare the equation using the wording here. After selling the 3/5, if you sell something, you have this amount, and you sell, you are going to have less. It means that you are subtracting. So number one, the operation right here is subtraction. Piece of cloth. We need to identify the object with a variable. In this case, let's use x as the variable. Let's use x as the piece of cloth. After selling the 3/5 of a piece of cloth, this is the piece of cloth, and I am selling the 3/5. But here is the most important part. After selling the 3/5 of a piece of cloth, so it is the 3/5 of something. That something is the piece of cloth. So you need to have the piece of cloth right there. If you do not use the variable, you will not get the correct result. Again, I am subtracting the 3/5 of the piece of cloth. So this variable is mandatory. Once you sell the 3/5 of the piece of cloth, 40 meters of cloth remain. It means that the result will be 40. What was the length of the piece of cloth? When you get the x, you will get the complete, you will get the whole piece of cloth. Let's solve this first degree equation. I have noticed that students get trouble when they get something like this. I'm going to show you a way just to make it easier. X minus. What you need to know is that this is a fraction, numerator, denominator, and this variable also has a denominator. Yes, there's a 1 down here. So actually the x is the numerator and this one is the denominator. So to make it easier, just let's have this to become only one term. How? By multiplying, because that's a multiplication. 3/5 x means 3/5 times x. So I am multiplying the numerators. 3 times x, 3x over. I'm multiplying the denominators. 5 times 1 equals 5, equals 40. And now it looks easier to solve. Again, we are subtracting fractions. Yes, I said fractions because, again, there's a denominator right here. So this is also a fraction, denominator 1. So we are subtracting fractions using, we know what? The least common multiple or the least common denominator. The least common denominator between 1 and 5 is 5. 5 divided by 1 is 5. 5 times x is 5x. Minus 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times 3x, 3x equals 40. I'm subtracting the like terms. 5x minus 3x equals 2x. over 5 equals 240. The number 5 is divided, goes multiplying. But there's something important to say right here. Since you are solving this equation and we need to get the value of x, these two numbers have to be moved. But there's an order to do that. First, you move the denominator to the right, and then you move the numerator. It cannot be the other way around. First, you move the denominator to the right, and the second movement will be the numerator to the right also. So this will be, the 5 is divided, goes multiplying. So we have 2x equals 40 times 5. 2x equals 40 times 5 is 200. 2x equals 200, the number 2 is multiplying. It goes dividing. So x will be 200 divided by 2. X equals 100 meters. The length of the piece of cloth was 100 meters. And this is the way you use equations to solve word problems. And if you think this was a useful video, feel free to subscribe and activate the bell in order to receive further notifications. Also, if you have a specific topic of your interest, just write it down on your comment. See you next time.